nice email about you.
Oh,
It
an
is
email. Oh, from
from
who?
Suzanne Taylor.
She's great, isn't she?
Yeah, and she says that she's introducing you to the world. She says you're a successful entrepreneur guiding other women to do the same, that you can
Yep.
support them. You've got your 3-month empowerment coaching, and
Yep.
she has 5 bullet points about it and the
Yep.
price. That
Yeah.
was really nice.
Barbecue for
I'm
life. Is that what it
lopsided.
says?
Yeah, yeah. And those actually on his fist, he has that tattooed on there. I just thank them for being a part of my life. Yummy part of my life. Wonderful people. We got to really meet them, especially when we first moved to Idaho. And
Oh, yeah.
excellent, excellent barbecue. Okay. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Wisdom on the Front Porch. Your front porch isn't always next to the house. Sometimes your front porch is on Zoom or in a digital cafe, in the grocery store line, wherever it is that you're sharing knowledge and wisdom. And today we have Tina here to share our knowledge and wisdom with. So, Tina, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And thank you for having me here today and sharing some tips, insights to you and your audience. And I love that location of Barbecue for Life, Boise, Idaho. I have a girlfriend that lives there. It's a beautiful. I've been
Oh,
out. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. My family was from there. So when my husband asked me if I wanted to move there, I said, why aren't we there already?
Oh, it's a
So,
beautiful place.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. I
That was
love it.
so funny when we first were there in 2017, our grandchild got to come and spend a month with us, and we enjoyed it, did all kinds of things, had so much fun. I showed her all of this land and property and the ranches and what was there. The next year, it was all gone.
Oh, wow.
Not all the places we went, but the ranch land and the property was almost became a whole new city. Just incredible. And I was really glad she got to see it before it was gone. But yeah, that was kind of a surprise. But
Wow.
when places grow and progress keeps going, it happens.
It
And
does happen. It does.
sometimes too fast, but they've been good about trying not to invade into areas that have been considered sacred for so many years, because there's a lot of Native Americans that are there. There's a lot of history in Boise, an awful lot of history in Boise. So you don't want to cover up the history with sidewalks and stores and things like that, but you
Yeah.
incorporate it with it. It just makes it wonderful. So if you
Oh,
ever
that's
get a chance to
beautiful.
go, I recommend going and
Yeah,
stop at
no,
Barbecue for Life.
I know. I was there a while ago visiting my girlfriend, and she has a horse ranch out
Oh,
there.
nice.
It was so beautiful to just stay there for
Yeah.
a couple days. Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I loved it. We had a lot of acres. We had 40 acres and we were raising Mustangs and farmland and everything around us. We're kind of south of Boise, in between a couple of towns, but it was just
Okay.
wonderful. The air was good, and being we were near the freeway, getting to and from Boise was easy, 20, 25 minutes. And some of the people that my husband worked with, 2 hours in traffic to get to their home from work or get from their home to work. And it's like,
Oh my
you
God.
may live in that area, but we're home in half an hour. And when you left, it's just kind of like you just felt the city fall off of you, and this peace and
Mm,
you know, just this joy was there. And it's not that the city isn't worth being in. It is. I love being in the city and stuff. It
yeah.
was just really
Yeah.
interesting how you felt driving out of there. But we didn't
Yeah.
come to talk about Boise, although I guess we did a little bit.
Well, you just never know, right, what you're going to
Yeah,
talk about.
that's right. That's right. And as entrepreneurs, we can go anywhere. We can do our business almost anywhere. And that's what makes it so wonderful is we get to go to these places and go do things. We were just talking about the He-Man retreat going on in Florida, and we're just praying that they're safe through all of this hurricane that's going on. But yet there they all get together on something like that. Wonderful entrepreneurs, all of them. And what a great way to get together. So maybe we should plan a Boise trip or something. That would be fun.
I would love that. That would be awesome.
We'll
Yes.
have to talk after this.
Yes.
So, so Tina, now that everybody knows what her other passion is, let them know what your passion is. What does Tina do as an entrepreneur?
All right. So I didn't start as an entrepreneur. My journey began when I got laid off from the corporate world.
Oh,
And I was in training and development. And I had always been working and always quit jobs. I never got laid off. And so when I was laid off, I for the first time that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
yeah,
And so I was really scared. And I was also mad that this happened to me. But and I firmly believe this today, when a door closes, another one is going to open. And so it is so true that, that it really does happen. So I just said to my boss at the time, I said, a door is going to open and I just don't know what it is. And I began my
nice.
journey to try to figure out what to do with my career. And I learned through research that a lot of women, mostly over 85%, are unhappy with what they're doing.
Oh,
They're stuck. They have no clarity in what they want to do. And I resonated with that. And I said, I want to figure out, what do I want to do now? Although I loved being in training and development, I had no clarity what to do next. So I embarked on a journey, and I learned through this tool that I now coach my clients on to discover their passions, is that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And why? Because of freedom. I
yeah.
didn't want to be told by a boss, a company, to tell you one day, you walk in, to tell you, bye-bye, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
After being promoted and giving your time and your energy. And I was commuting into New York City, 3 hours a day of my time for this company,
Wow. Wow.
and training, nonstop, actually. So, but you know what? It was the best thing ever, because that's when I started the journey of being an entrepreneur. And so today, we'll get to that, I'm sure, is that I am an entrepreneur. I help other women find their passion and starting a business to do what they love to do.
That's wonderful. And I love your journey and that you heard that there were several other women to do this. But why would you want to do this out of everything else that you possibly could have done? Why would you want to help women find their purpose? Because you found your purpose. You found what you love to do. Why involve anybody else in it?
I love that question. No one has ever asked me that question.
Yay.
So, yes, no one's ever asked me that question. So, because when I did the research, I learned that a lot of us are not happy. And I said, I wanted to change that. I wanted to be on a mission of helping other women. And because what I'm learning also is that there aren't too many coaches out there that help the newbies. They're helping the established ones. They're helping the ones that are already at the 6 figures, 7 figures. That's their goal. I'm helping women that are at zero. They've left their corporate world. They have great skills, but they're not making money yet in their business. Because I was there myself and I didn't have that support at the
Okay.
time. I was doing it all myself to figure it all out. To be honest with you, I
Wow.
did. I did. And later on, I got coaches and, I worked with other people. But at the beginning, I was trying to figure it all out. So why not help other women minimize that learning curve, that time, you know,
Yeah.
instead of trying to figure it all out on their own.
Yeah. Because for some of us, me talking, we've reached grandparent age and our grandkids are graduating high school and going into college. And it's like, we still have a lot of life and a lot of gift to go. And it's like, we don't want to spend, 10 years trying to figure it all out, getting established in all of this. We'd like, not that we want a shortcut, because shortcuts don't always help you out.
Right.
They might be good right at the moment, but are they going to sustain you? We want something impactful. So I love that you are there to say, hey, let's figure out who you really are. What do you really like to do? That's with the membership that I have via Value in You Academy, is
Mm.
helping women feel that fulfilled life. And I love that you've got it to where you've got it down, you've done the work, you have set it up, you've got this, it's, I'm trying to think of the right word and it's not coming to me, but you've got this great structure that's like a blueprint or
It
a
is.
recipe, for making a cake or whatever. Somebody made the cake, but the rest of us don't have to try to figure it out from scratch. Here's the recipe, go make your cake, or brownies, whatever you want to eat.
I love brownies, so
Yeah,
I'll
there we
make
go.
these
Okay, so
now.
go, here's a recipe, go make your brownies. And with that, they've got a solid foundation. They know how to make it repeatable. And I know you because I've talked with you, I've been in meetings with you. So I know you do more than just that. We're not just gonna say, okay, here's a blueprint. You figured out what to do, go have fun. I know you guide them further on.
I do, because I have a community of women that every week I support them. Not only do I work one-on-one with people, but I work in a community setting, and which I love because I'm teaching them, I'm sharing different business topics and also personal development topics. It doesn't have to be just business all the time. Is really helping these women, and some of them are at the real beginning, some of them have moved along, and they all need support, and they need that we're not in this alone, that we do have the
Right.
help. And it's
Yeah.
about reaching out, asking, being open-minded, being coachable. We're not perfect. No one is. And I think that all of us can learn from each other. We
Yes.
really do.
Yeah.
And I love what you're doing.
Definitely.
I love what you're doing as well. It's like we all have value. We all have gifts and talents and
Yes.
strengths. We really do. And why not show them? Why not share our stories? And this as
Oh,
an author,
yeah.
I'm an author as well. We have to share our stories. You've written so many books. It's amazing how many books you've written. I've written two of my own, and then I've been in anthologies, two anthologies so far. So I'm
Yeah.
at
Oh, that's
four right
awesome.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was saying on another show that I did, just the one before this one, and I've started a second podcast for authors and their books to tell the story behind the
Ooh,
book. Why did they write it? The idea,
wonderful.
the process that it goes through. Maybe read a little bit about the book, but get behind the scenes of
Mm,
what this book is all about. And
okay.
so
I love
I'm
that.
pretty excited about that because I would love to know, when you've read a really great story or you've read this book about this amazing person who is sharing all of these great business tools with you and whatnot. Let's see, I have, yeah, the magic of thinking big over here. Wouldn't it be great to find out, well, where did all of this come from? Get to know the person behind the book. And
I
so I'm
love
pretty
that.
excited about that. It's
Oh, I
because I
love
try to
that.
do
That's a
one
good.
every week, but I'll get some others in there too.
Oh, that's a great idea. And that's a great book, The Magic of Thinking Big.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Building a
just
book.
unpacked it. I'm still unpacking from our move, but yeah, I saw that and it's like, oh, I remember I was reading this book and I have my bookmark in there so I can finish it up now.
That's good. I have
Uh,
all my books on the side here, and I'm going to be moving around my office, and I'm going to have my background's going to be different. So stay
oh,
tuned.
good, good. Yeah, the meeting before you was with Junaid, who actually helps you set up your room for your podcast, for your shows, the lighting and everything that goes on in
Yes,
there. And
yes.
and I'm still a little bit red from my walk, but I know part of it is from the lighting I have. you know. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to get together and work on that.
Right, 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 right. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a great job. But
Oh
yes,
yeah.
yeah. So that's really what I wanted to do, and today that's what I love to do. And in answer to your question about I'm living my purpose, why work with other women, and that's
Yeah.
and that's the reason. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. And it's I've heard some women say, "Oh, I don't like women's group. They're so catty. They talk about each other." You know, I guess I've been really blessed. The groups that I've been in don't do that. I think that's what
Neither.
encouraged me to start my group is I saw this great meme and it says, if we're talking behind your back, it's because we're praying for you.
That's a good
So,
one.
So, because we don't want any of that negative stuff in there, what good does that do? That tears a place apart.
It
So
does.
tell us about your membership, your community.
Yeah, so our community is called the Inner Circle. It's my inner circle, From Job to Joy is the name of my business. And we meet every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern time for an hour. And every month we have a theme. So Tuesday starts October, our topics. And the month of October, we're going to be focusing on sales
Nice,
and all about
nice.
creating processes and leads and how to do the sales. And so that's what I'm passionate about, is because I see the progress with the women, and it's a low investment. They get one-on-one coaching with me. We get a mastermind once a month. We get other benefits in being part of the community. And I am in other communities, and I wanted something where we are actually every week doing work towards that topic of the night. And we have
Yeah,
activity worksheets, and it's like a mini mastermind within every meeting. And everybody, meets each other. We don't always do introductions. And right now we have about a dozen women, and it's
nice.
growing. And it's flexible, where if you can't stay 1 month, you can leave and come back. It's very flexible. And I love it. I've been doing it for over almost 2 years now.
Nice.
And I
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was just an idea, and I did it for no investment for over a year. And I was just meeting every Tuesday, and everybody was coming in for free. And then I said, I think I could, offer this as a membership and expand it and do
Right,
more and give them more value. And that's what I've been doing, is what value can we give them? Because we give them trainings. We give them the opportunity to be visible. I'm just starting to really include them in my summits as speakers. And because I
nice.
have a summit coming up next month. And
Yeah.
two of my women are going to be speaking.
Oh,
And
nice.
so they're excited and they're nervous, but I said, we got to create visibility for you. And
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. And so I'm very proud of that. And I got that idea from, her, Nikki Cuesta from Bomb.
Yes.
And I said,
Yep.
how can I see what you're doing? I'd love to learn about it. Learn, what are you doing? And that's the thing, that with us women working together, it's not the competition. It
Right.
really, it's how can we collaborate? How can we learn from each other?
Oh, yes.
No, and there is no, oh, but she does this too, that same, oh, there's already another community. No, that's not the case.
No, no.
And I love it. I think it's really good. And we help each other out.
Yeah. Well, with what is it, 9 billion people in the world, and most of us can't even service 1% of that. So that's
Right.
still a lot of people that even if we have the same ideas, even if we have the same business, because each one of us are unique, we go at it a different way. So maybe the people that you aren't able to reach because they're not at this point in their journey yet, or they're just not able to receive what you have, they can get it from somebody else in another community. And
Exactly.
that's the wonderful thing about it. It's like it doesn't matter if 20 people are doing the same thing, there are going to be 20 different ways to do it.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
yeah,
It's coming from an abundance mindset. That's really what it is,
yes,
scarcity mindset. And if we continue to think that way, more opportunities are going to come our
yeah,
way when we come from
absolutely.
that mindset. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it, being so beyond on YouTube and other places for a long time, but tell us about this mastermind you have going on. What, tell us, why is it called a mastermind and what will it offer?
Oh, okay. So the mastermind I offer within our community, the inner circle community. And
Okay,
really the reason why I love masterminding. I think that having a mastermind where you can come in and bring your challenges to the community and help each other out. So once a month in our inner circle, the last Tuesday of the month, we meet, come together, and it's open to non-members. Anyone can come
okay,
in as a guest and they could join, and you bring a challenger that you're facing,
okay.
and let's discuss it, brainstorm it, and come up with solutions, and really holding them accountable. Okay, you have this. what are you going to do? And I want to see it. Like one woman this week, she said, I'm afraid to go live. That's my challenge. And I tasked her with, okay, you'll go live by the end of this week. Just do it.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
did it the next day. And I say,
Nice.
well, great job for taking action on what we talked about last night.
Yeah.
That's the kind
That's
of
awesome.
thing that I want to see, the transformation, the progress that I want to see in our community. So yeah, so it's open. You know, people can come for a couple of times as a guest, come check us out. No pressure. If you like the vibe, you like what we do, and you want to join us, join us.
That's
That's
awesome. I
awesome.
love that you do that. I was in the very first course I ever took before I even knew half of what I know now, and in this world of writing and entrepreneurship, I remember we were challenged to do our first live. Well,
Mm,
I was scared to death. So it's winter time. I have an office, but it's outside, in a little shed, and it wasn't the warmest in there. And so I thought, if I could, I would have wrapped myself up to just have my eyes showing. And I thought, well, I really should have my whole face showing.
mm,
So I'm wrapped up in my coat. I've got a scarf all the way around me. I've got a hat on. I mean, you only see this much of my face. And that was my first live. Now I have a podcast. I actually have 3 podcasts going on right now. And it's like,
wow.
and magazines, and I'm writing, and I'm on other people's podcasts. So you see, just taking that first step, which you're offering to these women, take that first step through your fear and just do it. Sometimes just taking that step, doing that one action gets you out of the fear. So it's like, oh, I did it. Even if you never do it again,
Exactly.
at least you did it that once.
Right. And she did a live this week, and she's one of my speakers at the summit next month.
Nice.
And she said this was good practice because I'm going to be speaking. And I've heard her speak before, and she's great. But a lot of times we just hold ourselves back. We
Oh,
are our
yes.
critic, and we
Yeah.
think we have to be perfect, and we don't have to be perfect. We really don't.
No,
And
no.
that's what I think that a lot of us hang on to, is really thinking we have to be perfect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Um,
We don't, and
and
we don't.
I was in one of our meetings this morning. Um, and they were talking about just go out and do it. Just do it. Do it messy, do it whatever. And I'm like, wow, I'm on top of that one. I've got it messy all the time. Don't have my lighting
Exactly.
right. But if I don't go out and do it, then one, I can't support other entrepreneurs. No one's going to hear the message. Think of the women that you're helping right now because they're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, which I really appreciate them listening to and viewing
Yeah,
so much. But look at how you're helping them to just go through the next step, learn what you really
exactly.
want to do.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of you for doing that. And I'm proud of each of my viewers for taking the time to invest in yourself because you are a good investment. I'm going to say I coined that phrase because the group that I was in, I was the first person to ever say that. Everybody was kind of getting worried about the money and whatnot. And I said, you know what? I'm paying it every month. I have no idea where it's coming from. It just always seems to be there just
mm,
enough. And I says, I'm investing into me and I am a really good investment. And then about a couple months after that, I started hearing it more places and hearing it more places, and I'm sure, great minds think alike.
yeah,
But
I love that. I
yeah,
love that.
you audience are a great investment. Invest in yourself to do what you want to do, to take that courage to step through that fear and get there.
Exactly. And I love what you said. We are our own, we have to invest in ourselves, because
Mhm.
here's the thing I say, if we're not investing in ourselves, how can we expect others to invest in us?
Oh, yes. Yep.
And because we're leading by example, we have to invest in ourselves. Investing in the right places and the right things.
Yes.
Don't just like throw money away, you know, and your
Yeah.
time, but really like being very um using discernment,
Right.
you know, and being very intentional. Where should you invest your money and time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's a great point to bring up, which is I'm sure that's one of the things that you do with your group is you bring in wise choices for them and help them decide, how do I know what's a good investment for me? That was one of the things that, I was kind of um told, you have to be careful of what you do, but you always want to keep investing in yourself
right,
and
right.
but I didn't have any guidelines to go with along with that. How do I know if this is a good investment?
Mm.
And everybody says you're going to invest in something, you're going to think it's wonderful, and when you're done, you're going to realize I should flush it down the toilet for all that was worth. And I did mine. I did mine right away.
Right, 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 right.
It wasn't a few $1,000s, thankfully, but it was, coming from a place of where we were of my husband being out of work and
Hmm.
just moving and everything. So it wasn't, I felt really bad, but it's like, if I ever get to that point to where I'm training others, I know what not to do. I
Right.
know how it made me feel, and I certainly don't want others to feel. So even though it maybe wasn't the best choice I made at that time, I learned from it. That's what you want to do.
You do.
Mistakes, failures, whatever you want to call it, boo-boos, happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would say with his painting. Whatever it is, you look at how you're learning from it. What can you take away? So it's not a loss. So it wasn't a loss. It was a good lesson. And it there's some things that I did like from it, but it was really kind of sad that it wasn't more of what it was led to believe. But
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the way it
But you
goes. And
learn. But you learn. I mean,
yeah,
that's the thing. You know,
yeah,
you learn what are the lessons that you're learning from this experience. And instead of thinking
yes.
as a failure, you're thinking of them as a lesson that I've learned from this.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons that, I always try to, I think I have it in the outro and the intro somewhere in there that I have, if you have comments on the show, if there's things you want to say about it, hey, I didn't like this episode, don't just say you don't like it. Tell me why you didn't like it so I can make it better. Or say, yeah, this was really great. Well, what was really great about it? So I can keep giving you more great things and make it
Good.
a better show for you.
Good.
I want that interaction from the people. I don't want to just say, oh, I just don't like this and go away. Um, if you've got the time and you feel like it, I'd love to hear from you to know what it is that you did like. And if you really like Tina, let me know so I can bring her back more often because
I
I'm
would
going to
love to
bring you
know.
back. You know it.
No, I would love to know. And I think it's so true because, you know, you want to bring what does your audience need? What do they love? What
Yes.
they, if that doesn't serve them, they're not, then they need to give you feedback is so important.
Yes, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it
because
really
I want to
is.
bring value that lasts their lifetime. I want them to feel that what we have to say on the show is going to help them in their life, in their
Yes,
business, in their relationships. And
yes,
uh and
I
it's
agree.
important to do that for each other.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Good.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit more about maybe a couple of hints, tips, or ideas of how do we go look for our purpose, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. So one of the things that I do with my clients or people that come to me is to figure out your why. And we want to get deep. You want to get deep on why, what excites you? What do you desire? What, you know, create a vision of your life. Where do you see yourself going? What are some of your hobbies? What is a great day look like for you? Like if you weren't getting paid, what would you love to do? And so really create that vision, really get clear on what excites you, what are your strengths, and having that vision is where you begin,
Yeah,
is where I begin with my clients. And because I have, you know, a couple of those tools that we really get clear on what is it that you want to do. Because when we know why we're doing something,
hmm,
you're going to get through the challenges, you know, the ups and downs
yeah, yeah,
every day.
definitely.
And because as an entrepreneur, and I even did a live today about it, you know, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have those ups and downs. But when you believe in yourself, you know your mission, you know what your why is, you will continue to move forward. And you're not going to let the outside affect you, because it really does begin right here in our mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, it
It
does.
really does. It really does. And that's an area that I work with my clients is their mindset, because, because your mindset can go in a whole nother direction.
Yep.
And you really
Absolutely.
don't focus on solutions. You're focusing on the problem, and you're staying stuck in that victimhood and
Yeah.
poor me, and I'm too old to make changes, and I can't do this. No, we can. It's really up to you. And how bad do you want something? That's the other thing, is how bad do you want to live a life
Right.
that you love to do? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, instead of waking up every day making excuses or saying that I coulda, shoulda, woulda, having those regrets, why not say, I did it? Like, I
Yeah.
never thought that I would be an author. And why did I become an author? I'll tell you, because I wanted to get some speaking opportunities, and everybody was saying, you got to be an author, you got to write a book, you got to write a book if you want some speaking opportunities. I said, oh, okay, so I'll write a book. And I said, all right, what do I write about? And freedom is what spoke to me. So I created
Nice.
the 7 steps to freedom. And that was my first book, is How to Thrive in Life and Business Through My 7 Steps. And one of them that I talk about in the book is my mindset, is your mindset.
Nice.
How do you
Yeah.
get through it? But I begin with faith, having that faith in
Yeah.
yourself, believing, again, going back to belief in yourself, that you can do it. And that's where I think a lot of us women especially lack confidence.
Hmm.
They may not feel worthy, that
Yeah.
they deserve success. And
Yeah.
when it really, they do. We all do deserve success and worthiness. We're all worthy. We are all,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who's listening to my podcast, no, that's what I say. You have great value in there in you. You are worthy, you are enough, and you do matter, because your value is what's inside here. That's what
Yeah,
makes you worthy. And that value and
exactly.
that worth, that makes you enough.
It
And you do
does.
matter, because people really do want to know what you have to say.
Yes,
And
they
even
do.
if some people shut you down, they're not your people. Either they're not ready for it, or they're in a different space. It's not right for them. And that's okay, because there's all those other people that it is right for. So yeah, step through that fear. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
step through that fear. And that's one of the things that I've learned as an entrepreneur, is that the right people will come in your space. And it's
Yes.
okay if you get those no's, if they're not coming to you, because they're not your right people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your messaging will attract the right people.
Right. And I'll tell you something I found out, and it finally sunk into me that's like, yes, I get it now. It's like you want those no's, because those no's means that you are taking action. Maybe you're not taking action in the right department, right direction, or the right department, but that's okay, because now you know you need to make an adjustment, and you keep making adjustment till you get that yes. And then it's like,
Of that.
hey, it worked. So you try it again, you get another yes. Yes, this is the right way. And even if you get 2 or 3 yeses and get another no, don't quit, because you probably just come against someone again who is not ready to receive it, is in a different place in their journey. So just keep on and keep on. And when something works, keep using it. Don't quit and think you have to keep adjusting it every time. If it's working, keep using it.
Love that. No, I love that, because you're right. If you're not getting if you're not getting no's, you're not doing the work. Like, you're not
Yeah,
meeting enough people. All
yeah,
right. So
yeah,
how many no's are you getting in a week?
yeah.
All
Well,
right. And that's the thing. And so how many people are you meeting in a week? you know,
exactly.
and that's very important too. And not everybody that we're meeting are going to be our client, but they
Right,
could refer
right.
you
Oh,
to
yeah.
someone. And
Referrals
I
are
mean,
great.
referrals are great, collaborations are great. And this is the thing that, again, goes back to our mindset. When we meet with someone, we don't want to have that tag of, oh, they could be my client or not, I'm not going to meet with them. No, it's, you don't know where that person can lead you. I have had more
Yeah.
conversations with people in the past couple weeks that have led me to connection calls like this, getting on podcasts, referring me to someone else that thinks that I should connect them with. And then I think of people that I can refer them to. It just keeps going and going. And you just never know where you could lead them, where they could lead you. And and I'm, looking for speakers for my summits. I'm looking for guests on my podcast because I do have a podcast as well. Only
Nice.
one for now.
That's okay.
It's okay. Never thought I would bring on speakers. I just started bringing on women. It's called Employee to Entrepreneur. And it's women that have a story to share about their career, their transition.
I
And I
love
just
that.
started bringing on guests. So I'll be bringing on more guests as we, move forward with it. And that's what I'm excited about is because I don't want to do all the talking. I want to bring other people do the talking.
Yeah, I love having the conversations and that interaction. And sometimes it brings up more questions, than we realized that we even wanted to ask. And here I didn't know you had a podcast. I think that's amazing. You've got your membership, you've got your books, and you've got this mastermind coming up, and it's wonderful. And that's something I want to say, you're talking about referrals and stuff. I didn't even know you were doing the mastermind until I got an email from somebody else who said, "Hey, I want you to meet Tina. She's wonderful. She's marvelous." I mean, it was really great what they're saying, all true because I know you personally. So it wasn't something that made it sound like, oh, they're just trying to build this person up for whatever reason. I mean, it was real honest and open answers. And then they gave five, little bullet points beside it of what you do. And it was really great. And I love that we can share with each other like that. It's like, hey, let's get together and work on something. And it just makes the
Absolutely.
world so much better.
It does. And relationships, this is what it's about. This person
Yeah,
that you got the email from, I've known her now almost a year. And I've been in her space and I've attended things and I've started to know her,
yeah,
she to know me. So it's that trust factor. It's that
right.
relationship that takes time. Things don't happen right away.
Oh, no,
And
no,
it takes some time. And that's another tip I'd like to share to your audience is it takes time. You're not going to
it
see the
does.
results right away,
Yeah.
but
And,
keep
and it,
plugging away. Keep
yeah,
doing.
absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing that comes to mind as you're saying that is, because I know I ended up dealing with this. I almost quit. It's like I just can't take it anymore. Why isn't it working and all this? But I was looking at where somebody else was in their journey and
I've done that.
thinking, well, I should have been there too. I should be doing all of this. I should be there until I find out, well, they maybe had a 10-year head start on me or a 2-year head start on me. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter how much time they had. I am not them. They are not me. They are going through a different path. And why am I comparing me and what I'm doing to them? Yes, I want to be at that position, but I need to finish doing my stuff first to get there.
I
And
love that.
and
I love that.
it's defeating. It's very defeating. So don't do that.
Oh no, I've done that. I've done that quite a bit in the past, and it's something that I've had to work through is that
Mhm.
comparison. And comparison just steals your joy. It
Oh
does
yeah.
because you're focusing on them and you're not focusing on you. And
Yeah.
and I've been told this, I need to know my value, understand my value. Don't look
Yes.
at someone else, what they're doing. And you're right, they may have 2 years ahead, 10 years ahead of you. They might be spending more hours working on their business that than you do. We
Yeah.
don't know their story. And a lot of times we may see things on the outside on social media, but
Yes.
do we really know them?
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. It's like
Yeah,
you don't know. You
you
don't know
don't.
what's going on.
You don't
And
know. No.
yeah, and when you really start looking at your own journey, you're like, "Oh wow, I've done that already. Oh wow, I've come this far. I didn't even realize it." That's why I think the pause. Some people say, "Oh no, don't pause. That's the same thing as stopping and quitting." And it's not. The pause is taking time to see where you are, to to celebrate those victories. Maybe you haven't taken time to say, wow, I did this. Sometimes just getting up in the morning is like, wow, I got up this morning. I wanted
I
to leave the
know,
covers on my head, but
I know.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to all celebrate our little wins, every day.
Hmm.
And yeah, a pause is actually a very good thing.
Oh,
To take
yes.
time sometimes to pause and reflect on maybe what it hasn't worked and what do I need to do differently moving forward? What do I need to
Yeah.
focus on? Maybe you need to focus on things that have to do with your personal life. I mean, we don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have to take care of things related to us. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think it's very important to do.
That's
Yeah.
a very good point because I think as we're building the business, we forget about us. One
We
thing
do.
I noticed yesterday, I have been trying and trying to just get one day that I am not working. I usually take Sundays off and I still do some work and stuff on Saturdays, but I try to take Sunday just with my husband, but I need one day just for me.
Good for
And,
you.
at first that sounded really selfish. Well, you can do stuff, you can fit it in. It's not about fitting it in. It's about taking care of yourself. And as
Yeah.
I said, we're unpacking and whatnot, and it's kind of a slow process because I'm trying to build a business, and well, I
Yeah.
am building the business. There's no try. I am
That's
doing it.
right.
That
Exactly.
try
Don't
is a
use the word
negative
try.
word. I am doing it. Um, but I need one day to where I can just go get boxes and not worry that I'm going to miss a meeting or get so involved in what I'm doing. I haven't been watching the time and I've missed, doing a podcast that somebody is supposed to be on my podcast, heaven forbid. So, I really want to be mindful of that. And
Yeah.
yesterday was the first time that I didn't schedule anything in there because I'm the one that was taking up my time. I'm the one
Mm,
that was robbing myself of that time. And I
okay.
tell you, I got so much done. I emptied out 3 big steamer trunks and I knew what to do with things. That was the other thing. It's like there's all this emotion going on with unpacking
Oh,
because it was boxed up for almost 7 years. And it's
oh,
like
wow.
opening up a time capsule. My mother had passed away, so I still had a lot of stuff from there.
Okay.
I was so heavily involved in the grandkids, meaning that they were coming over every week, or I'd go visit them and we'd have, all the toys and everything. Well, they're 7 years older now. So these old toys they were playing with, yeah, there's nobody that's that age anymore, you know, but it's hard
Wow.
to realize that your life stopped at this point, but it didn't because life keeps going on. And
Yeah.
now it's like, how do I deal with all of this, with the emotions that goes on with it? And
Mm,
and I felt like I had lost so much time with them, but no, I still had time with them. It's just in a different way. So there was a lot going on that way. So
okay.
having a day yesterday to where I could deal with all of that, I knew how to sort things out, and I'm learning how to detach the emotion from it to see, is this really something that's necessary?
Good for
And
you.
it was just amazing, but I never had the freedom to feel like I had the time to do that, you
Beautiful.
know,
That's
and,
beautiful.
and, so
I
there's a
love that.
self-help for
No, that's
women
a
that
great
are
self. Yeah, I
doing
mean, you
this.
need to
Yeah.
take time for self-care. And for me, like Sundays, I don't do any work. Even
Yeah.
Saturdays. Saturdays, I really don't. Saturdays and Sundays for me, I just don't do work. I may do, yeah, no, I really don't do any work on Saturdays and Sundays. I really don't. I don't schedule meetings. I might schedule a meeting Saturday morning to work with the client,
Yeah.
um,
Me
they
too.
can't during the week, Saturday mornings only. But other than that, I really keep them free. I really do because I
Yeah.
work Monday through Friday.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I didn't really want to take an extra day. I figured I would hurt my business if I took another day because, I had the weekend, but it didn't. It freed me up mentally and emotionally to really take on the next day. I did have some meetings at night, but that's okay because I knew I had a full day that
Yeah.
I could just take care of me and do what was needed to be done. And I'm
Beautiful.
saying, and I'm trying not to do that. That's, but I was ready to tackle today. This morning
Good.
came up and it's like, I got stuff accomplished. I mean, that feeling of accomplishment is great. And I got stuff done. And I know that tomorrow I've got some things that are going on. I keep looking at my calendar and it's like, that's okay because now I have the energy mentally and physically and emotionally to go
Good.
on. I'm not feeling drained and rushed and running out of energy. It was
Awesome.
really a good thing. So,
Beautiful. Yeah. No, that's a
yeah,
beautiful thing. And I think we really need to be more intentional with taking care of ourselves because
yes.
if we don't take care of ourselves, how can we help others? How can we serve
Oh,
our clients?
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And if we're helping a client, but we're getting so burnt out or so feel
yes,
so defeated ourselves, that's going to pull through or show through onto our clients. And you don't
absolutely.
want that to happen because you're trying
No.
to help them, not
Right.
trying to unload
Exactly.
your burdens on them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and
Good.
even
I
if you
love
don't
this.
say anything, you feel it. You feel
Yeah.
it. You know if your coach is off, for a day. And sometimes, as at least I do with this with my coach, I'm watching what they're doing and how much they're doing. And sometimes I say, hey, I see you're doing an awful lot. I just want you to know I'm here to support you too. And I want to thank you for what you're doing. And it's great to see you building, give them a little encouragement too.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
That's
So
great. That's
that
really
is
great.
great.
This is a great conversation we're having here,
Oh,
LS.
I love it. I love my conversations.
I
It's
know.
just, just to be open. I wish the audience was right here with us because I'd love to hear their input and what they have to say and questions they have and are they getting answers. That's why you go to wisdomonthefrontporch.com and you can find a place to put in your comments and suggestions and things like that. So tell us again, where can they get your books? And
Okay.
how do they get into your membership? And if they want to talk to you about living that fulfilled life, pursuing their dreams, how do they do that?
So my website has everything, www.fromjobtojoy. You can purchase my books and also how to connect with me because I offer a 30-minute complimentary clarity call. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, Tina Kadish, and my email is tkadishcoach@gmail.com. And come find me, and I would love to help someone that is really right now could be in a reinvention, in transition, they need clarity, they want to figure some things out and they don't know what to do. That's where I
Right.
can come and put them on
Excellent.
that path, to
Excellent.
entrepreneurship and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So tell us the website one more time.
Yes, www.fromjobtojoy.com, all one word, and
Awesome.
my books
And do
as
you
well as
only help women who have been in the workforce and are now wanting to be on their own?
I also work with new entrepreneurs. So if you know a woman who is already left, like they just started their business, they could be new, but they haven't really created a blueprint, a plan on
Yeah.
how to get their business started. They might be stuck in one area, like I can't get clients, I can't make sales, I can't get leads. Let's get together because I, can offer a one-on-one strategy session where let's focus on what is the challenge you have right now. So I work with those newbies,
I
or the
see.
ones that are looking to leave. So those are the
That's
two
wonderful.
areas that I focus on.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Ella.
Tina, for being here. I always enjoy your company.
Me too. I always enjoy. You have so much value to add and such
Oh,
insight,
thanks.
such depth and experience. And that's the thing. We have a lot of experience to offer
Yeah,
to
I'm
people.
old. I know things.
Hey, you're not old. You've got a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, a lot of input,
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of
that's
value,
good.
like you say.
There you go. That's it. That's it. So if you're in Boise, Idaho, stop off at Barbecue for Life. Great food, vegan and meat eaters if you're a carnivore. Um,
That's great. That's great.
and yeah, I really love them so much. I really do. Just wonderful, wonderful people. And
Good.
I love what they do for the community and all. So thank you, Tina, for being here. Thank you, my audience, for being here on Wisdom on the Front Porch. So we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today on Wisdom on the Front Porch with your host, LS Kirkpatrick. You can find us on our website, wisdomonthefrontporch.com, see previous episodes of the podcast, and view issues of the magazine. Did you know you can submit questions, leave reviews, or suggest topics? You can also tell us where your favorite front porch location is and what it means to you. We hope you gain value and insight from today's or previous talks. We appreciate your support for us so we can continue to provide value and expertise to you and others. Subscribe to Wisdom on the Front Porch magazine and join in next week when we bring you another great insight into the world of entrepreneur culture and lifestyle. Make today a great day. Always believe that something wonderful is going to happen.